vibes. It's all Buena. Stone Buena Mesa Salt and Lime Lager is Baja-inspired and imported from San Diego, located near you at find.stonebrewing.com. And Trojans Live is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, our guy Kobe Johnson joins us now. One of our favorites, averaging 15 points a game, 5 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, just getting started in his junior season here at USC. Kobe, that was a tough one on Friday, man. I did not walk away feeling great about that. How are you processing it? Trojans lose one at the buzzer.
Obviously, me and the rest of the team aren't taking that too lightly either, but we got to live with it, and we got to move on. We got a huge 2 games coming up this week, so we got to lock in, fix all the little details, and we got to come ready to play these next 2 games.
Kobe, Jordan mentions the stat, but when I watch you guys play, I think that more than anything, I know your physical approach to the game. You're out there. You're like, I like the manner you play the basketball. You're in there being physical. Where does that come from? That you've always been that kind of player, or is that something that the role you need to play on this team?
Yeah, I think that just came from being the youngest brother. I have 2 older brothers, so just growing up, I was always just being competitive with them. Always, I lost a lot, and I had to learn from that. I did a lot of crying, but I think that built me into the person I am today. So I think I just carry that competitive spirit with me into every game I play, and I just play my heart out.
When I was looking at the schedule, it's next to every matchup, it was like ESPN or Fox, ESPN, Fox, and you've been here a couple years. Do you feel that added expectation, that added energy, that added buzz around the program? And, what's the trade-off there? Obviously, it's exciting because I'm sure it allows guys to get up, but then it's also, maybe brings about some distractions and having to deal with those expectations. How have you approached that as a leader on this team?
No, obviously, it's a lot of kids' dreams to be able to play on ESPN and all those big-time networks. So just being able to play on those programs, it's a huge blessing. But again, we got to stay locked in and, stay true to what we need to focus on. So just staying true to each other and just trying to win every game.
Sean was talking about your defensive prowess. I mentioned 3 steals a game, and I talk about it all the time on the broadcast. I would love to get inside your head, because it just feels like so often you have an idea of where the play is going defensively. I mean, I imagine part of that's film study, but some of it just has to be instincts. There's a lot of guys, I'm sure, that watch film and maybe they don't trust themselves to actually go gamble and make the play, or maybe they just can't read it right. We see this in football all the time too. Is there a way to explain it, to vocalize what's happening, that you're able to jump as many passes as you do, to deflect as many balls?
Yeah, it's just instinct. I think I just always had that growing up. I was always a defensive player first. Growing up, that's what my pops always taught me. Once you play defense, you'll always be out on the floor. So I think it's just instinct in me. I go for it and I get it. So I'm just if I go aggressive with it, I believe I'm gonna get it. So I'm just gonna go in there every time and try to get it.
With the high expectations of this team, is your guys' goals? Are you thinking ahead with your goals as far as looking into making a big March Madness run, or is it like we're taking this thing week by week? Let's build this thing and make sure at the end of the year we're playing the right way.
Definitely. I think at the beginning of the season, we definitely had those end-of-season goals and those big-time goals that everybody talks about. But I think further into the season that we go into, I think we got to really learn about taking it step by step, game by game, because we know that we can't take any team lightly. I think we learned that these past few games. So I think just taking every game seriously and learning step by step, getting better each game, I think that'll help us now and going into March.
I feel like when you ask guys their favorite players, obviously they point to the superstars, a lot of LeBrons, Kobe's, and whatnot. You're a defensive specialist, though. No, I shouldn't say specialist because I don't want to downgrade your offensive game. But when you take pride on the defensive side of the ball, is there an NBA guy that you look at defensively like, ooh, that's the dude that I want to copy his skill set?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of dudes in the NBA that are just dogs on the defensive end that you just love watching. But personally, my favorites are Drew Holiday and Jimmy Butler. I like Drew Holiday just because he does everything the right way, and he doesn't say anything. He just goes about his business, and he does it right. And Jimmy Butler, he brings that little swagger to it. He brings that little trash talk, that competitiveness side to it. So I have a little mixture of both of them, just trying to take away from both of them and try and use as much of it in my game.
You do like to talk. I think you're more on the Jimmy side when it comes to that. You bring an edge to this team that it needs, right? I mean, it's important to have a guy like that or guys like that. we always see this with like Draymond. It's like when you play on that edge, right? Sometimes it could tilt too far. Is there anything, where you have to check yourself sometimes, but you also know that your team needs that, right? I feel like everyone plays us and goes, oh, it's just LA. They're going to be some soft kids or whatever when they play Seton Hall. They think, oh, you guys are soft. So you bring that, but is there a balance to it in your mind where you got to, hey, make sure I don't go a step too far?
Yeah, I think my balance is just making sure the refs don't see it. I think refs are starting to get my mojo with this, so I'm trying to dial it back and keep it a little undercover. But I think that's me. That's just me. I bring that competitiveness every game, and I don't plan on stopping. I mean, that's how I get into games. That's how I get going, is talking a little trash. So I try to get myself going. So.
You seem like an old school kind of player to me and I think old school basketball, I think nasty dunks, and now the new age of basketball is more 3-point shooting. Would you rather go nasty dunk on them or wet 3-pointer?
Dunk on somebody.
There you go. That's what I knew. I knew that answer was coming.
Yeah, obviously, by far.
You're from Big Ten country in Wisconsin. What do you make of the move heading to that conference after the season? You excited about it? And I guess what brought you out to LA in the first place?
No, it's definitely exciting. Just starting new at a new conference, a whole new competition, and a whole new play style, because we're so used to the Pac-12 teams. And I think it's just fun to just get out of something and start something new. But what's the second question?
How does a dude from Wisconsin get to Southern California?
Yeah, just change the lifestyle. I wanted to get out of Wisconsin. I just wanted something new, so I thought LA was the perfect style. There's so many opportunities out here that I can create for myself, and it's just trying to build my brand as much as possible out here while I can. So I think making that jump over from Wisconsin to LA was huge in my part.
Dad's a hooper, mom's a hooper, brother's a hooper, girlfriend's a hooper. Who do you talk basketball with? Who, after the game's over, who do you like to break it down with?
Everybody gets a little bit of it. I'll call my parents after the game if they're not at the games. I'll talk with them for a little bit. But once I get back home, it's just me and my girlfriend. We just talk about the game, break it down. She keeps it real with me, so I don't have any sugarcoating around me. So
could you handle that, Sean? If the girlfriend was breaking down game film with you?
No, I don't. I know I wouldn't handle that well. I would do that quite poor, because she'd probably tell me what I was doing wrong. And I don't want to hear that.
No problem being honest.
I need positive affirmation, Jordan. I think you know that.
Breaking down defensive lineman leverage. That'd be amazing.
You're with an athlete, Max. Did you ever?
I'm trying to get her to watch
film?
football. I mean, I watch
Different
volleyball,
sports.
but yeah, I'm trying to have her watch more football.
All right, yours was love and volleyball, or
Hey.
love and basketball over there. Still these USC romances. I love it.
There we go. We started dating when we were both in a competition battle, so I guess there's what we bonded over.
All right, Kobe's got a big week. The Trojans are back at it on Wednesday at 8 o'clock tip against Eastern Washington. Get to Galen for that one. And then a showcase game that these guys were talking about, all these stages that they get to play on. USC Gonzaga on Saturday night in Las Vegas. Sounds like a pretty big stage. Kobe Johnson feeds off of that. He will be there to lead the way for the Trojans. Hey, we talked in the offseason about how many number one players in the country joined USC this year. We already talked to one in Juju Watkins. We have another one coming up for women's golf. Bailey Schumacher is next on Trojans Live.